Riding a snowmobile, or at least a powder sled on powder, is very similar to flying. It's almost like a crosswind landing with an airplane. So instead of...
My name is Joshua Ryan Blair. I'm a private pilot, aircraft mechanic. And if you enjoy aircraft mechanics as well, make sure to subscribe to this channel.
I grew up riding a bit, and it's just, I'm super fascinated with them.
I've been on a snowmobile one time. I think I was like 13 or whatever. It's a really old, like Arctic Cat or something. It was like a 1970 model or something.
Yeah.
And I took it for a little spin up in Michigan. And I went there and it was like a mile out and it just quit on me.
Yep.
It just stopped like that. And I had to get towed back. That's been my only experience on a snowmobile, was a 1 mile one-way trip.
Yeah. My childhood was, my parents had an old, it was the same thing, like a 70s or 80s model. I don't even know what it was, but it would start up fine. But once it got hot, you could never start it again until it cooled all the way down. So it was so much of like, we'd go ride and then it would die and then we'd be stuck and walk home. Like, bought my brother and I some like big mountain snowmobiles. They were the Polaris RMK 800. I was 15. It was like a 500-something pound snowmobile. It was
800, huh? Wow.
Yeah, it was a cool snowmobile, but it was just like riding a bull. Like, you were just on for the ride and getting your, butt kicked the entire time. And now I have the current version of basically that same snowmobile, and it's just insane what they've done in the last, I guess it's almost 20 years, that it's like they're so agile, so light, so much more rideable. It's like it's incredible what they've done. So the experience that you've had, I had, and then I even had the like better taste after that, but now it's like a whole different world, especially if you can get into good snow. It's like it's hard to beat a good powder day on like a good snowmobile. So, and I found this is a whole different thing that I'm realizing. It's riding a snowmobile, or at least a powder sled on powder, is very similar to flying. The reason being, to do a turn in powder, there's a bit of leaning, there's some counter steer involved to get the sled on its side, and then you use throttle as well as leaning back to actually bank through the turn. So you don't just flat turn there, it's carving. Okay. And then like on a side hill thing, it's weird because you end up steering downhill to get the snowmobile to lean uphill. It's almost like a crosswind landing with an airplane. So instead of dropping your upwind wing, I'm dropping my uphill ski into the thing, and it's a coordinated kind of, it's really weird. And like little things are just like clicking that I'm like, oh, and in deep snow, if you get too slow, you get stuck, which is like stalling with an airplane. I'm like, you got to carry your speed through certain things. And it's just like, how my mind goes right back to flying with it.